Hello, everybody. Hello, Justin, and welcome to the stream. Welcome to the channel. How are you today, sir?
Justin Slim Friesen says, doing well, and yourself?
I think I'm doing okay. Uh, no tire warmers, okay. And they also don't allow the Genesis here. So, okay, that was something. Coming out of the pits. Okay, what kind of day will this be? So yeah, they don't allow the Genesis, so the winged Peugeot's going to be the backup here. It's a hosted server. I think I'll be hosting one shortly, but I just wanted to get behind the wheel here first, a little bit. Whoa! Well, the car is beautifully balanced. At least that's one thing. Ooh. Still getting some shake, some wobble. So that's not fixed. Am I still running the pug version? Okay, I'm confused here. Okay, I was seeing everybody going through those non-styrofoam barriers. Need to specify that they are non-styrofoam. Yeah, I'm still getting some wobble here, strangely enough. So what are you up to today? Anything good happening in the world of racing?
Justin Slim Friesen says, FYI, I can't join the server if you host it. I'm waiting for me dad to let me know when he's ready to go.
Oh, it's all good. Okay. Yeah, that was my next question. How is your dad doing? Like, I know you went to the dentist, don't know exactly what was done, but you seem to be checking up on him quite often, so yeah, I'm getting some nasty wobble here. How much people are in this server?
Justin Slim Friesen says, got all teeth pulled and got dentures.
Ooh, that's gonna hurt for a long, long time. I wonder if it's like the, you know about the, when you get amputated, the phantom limb. You know, people still feel their arm or leg even though it's been amputated.
Justin Slim Friesen says, he's doing great already though.
I wonder if it's the same thing for teeth, though. Like, do you still have like the phantom feeling that you have teeth, but then it's not your teeth, so the brain gets confused?
Justin Slim Friesen says, yeah, I imagine it would.
Yeah, I imagine too. Well, I watched a couple of WEC clips here and there. Saw that the Peugeot got into a really nasty accident. Kind of a bummer after qualifying for pole. Oh man, the wobble is terrible. Let me pull to the side here quickly. Let me close the pit house. Man, it's just my luck that I end up in another night server. At least you can pretty much see all the corners here on this one. Oh, I fell asleep again yesterday on Glenn's stream. I actually woke up and rewatched the ending. Seems his last race was pretty good. See, I'm still getting some wobble. Even after closing the Moza pit house.
Justin Slim Friesen says, yeah, dude has improved a lot.
Oh, was that a wing? I think somebody lost their wing. Does the wing stay there after they return to the garage? In theory, it should not stay there if they respawn in the garage. Oh, somebody just crashed out. I'm guessing he's the guy that lost the wing and thought he could get away with going fast. Man, do I forget where I am on the track at night here.
Justin Slim Friesen says, yeah, I wonder how long it takes for the game to clear car parts off the track.
Well, I thought that maybe the guy would have respawned, but then seeing the car in front of me hit the barrier the way he did on the straight kind of tells me that that's the guy that lost the wing. Well, maybe it stays there until they respawn to the garage. Man, this default setup is working nicely though. If it wasn't for the wobble here.
Justin Slim Friesen says, could be.
And I didn't change anything to this setup. I'm liking it. Kind of afraid to push it because my tires are not quite up there yet. Oh! Yeah, tires are not just quite there yet. But it's extremely stable. The driver, not so much. Okay, let's get out of this stupid night crap. Okay, I'm gonna set up a smoke screen here and chill out a bit. It's Saturday. Sun's popping up here and there, sporadically.
Justin
But it's
Slim
still...
Friesen says, I'm sure in iRacing it just stays on track for a predetermined amount of time. No issues in that game cause all the car debris are ghosted. You drive right through them with no affect at all.
Really? I kind of like that, and I kind of don't. Like, okay, it's a game, you know, right? So we're there to have fun and not deal with everybody's
Justin Slim Friesen says, me too.
broken parts. But it adds to the immersion seeing parts fly all over the place, so I'm good with that. But then if somebody loses a tire in this game and you hit it and it causes you damage, man, I should not have to deal with that. But then you have the people that say, well, in real life, that's what happens. Yeah, in real life. Let me revise a couple of these while I'm just chilling here. Probably need to change the temperatures. Yeah. Let's change these to 24 degrees. We do the apply to all.
Justin Slim Friesen says. Other things are live though. Like cones, if you hit those, you will get some damage. And they can get stuck under the car, which affects the speed and handling massively.
Well, in LMU that doesn't happen, but you do get a warning for hitting a post or a sign or something. Tire warmers. What was the road scale again? I don't remember what that was. Oh, here's the saturated stuff. Okay. That's in kind of the weather thing. Okay. Let's just save it. I'm not going to request it right away. I just knew that I had forgotten to change some things. Yeah, not much going on here today. So, do you know if they fixed the Discord thing for the SimGrid thing, or is that still broken? Because last night other people were complaining about it.
Justin Slim Friesen says. No idea.
Anything else I can remove here?
Justin Slim Friesen says. I did see 2 more sign-ups after me. So maybe?
Yeah, I think those were manually added though. I don't know if you can do that. Or maybe Wolfie just told them to leave the server and re-register like you did. I'm still not joined, so it's not a question of delay thing. Oh, by the way, Paul asked me for another livery. He wants me to do a Lexus this time. Yeah, I told him this time he might have to wait a bit. I'm not feeling it. I'm also thinking of redoing my McLaren livery. Or making a Corvette livery. I don't know. But I saw that there's not too many hypercars signing up.
Justin Slim Friesen says, getting fed up with all the requests? LOL.
Well, it's one thing to do it for somebody and you go racing on track with them and you get to see it on the track. Like, he only drives hypercars, but he kind of wants to have a collection of cars that he sees in real life. Because he goes to these track things and talks
Justin
to...
Slim Friesen says, don't blame you one bit.
And talks to the crews and, you know, gets pictures with them and all that. It's like, oh yeah, this would be cool. It's like, especially this one's a lot of work too. I don't know if I can show it to you here. Let's get here. Let's open it up. Can I move it around? There we go. So this is kind of what he wants. But the game doesn't really do gold. You know, so it's going to be yellow. But you have different honeycombs here and the Pegasus here and more honeycomb here and on the top. Oh, it's very goldish. Why can I not move it? Can I just get out of here? There we go.
Justin Slim Friesen says, yeah, looks pretty involved.
Yeah, so I'm like, I'm not feeling it. I told him it might take some time this time around. Top of which I want to redo mine, and I'm not. I'm not feeling inspired even to do my own. What? I got no Curve Grande.
2488 says, hey.
Hello, Pookie. Okay, let's go and open our files here. Try to find some Genesis.
Justin Slim Friesen says, sup Pukey. Pukey 2488 says, sup.
I'm confused. What is NC stand for? Because Curve Grande does not go with NC.
Justin Slim Friesen says, no chicane.
Oh, man. Okay, thank you. Like, okay, this has to be for Curve Grande, but why not CG? Why NC? I get confused at my age. Man, I'm not anxious 10 years from now what it's gonna be like for me. Might have to do an application for MAID.
Pukey2488 says, I am going to stream a tournament in Rocket League in 45 minutes, so if any of you want to watch my and my friends suffering, you are welcome.
Okay, Pookie. Although Rocket League is really not my thing. I mean, Dale and other people
Justin
can
Slim
like that,
Friesen
but...
says, sometimes I feel like my brain is running out of my ears. LOL.
Yep. Ooh, dude.
Justin Slim Friesen says, Stay young Pukey. Stay young.
Yep,
LOL.
stay young. And I'm still getting that wobble now all of a sudden today. Did they remove the, ooh! Okay, where is Steam? There it is. Okay, let's go to, where's my Le Mans? Okay. No, I'm still on the pub share version. Okay, that's weird. What happens if I remove tiny pedals? And the pit asphalt is so bumpy here. Yep, the rear feels a little bit light. Which I guess is to be expected here. Man, is it worth putting in the Le Mans gear ratios? Seems I'm redlining the 7th gear quite a bit. Then again, I've tried to blow up the engines in this game and haven't been able to. See, I'm redlining from here all the way to the brake zone. Don't know if this will make me faster or slower, but guess we'll find out. Yeah, Rocket League is really not my thing. Whoa! Not cool. Yeah, funny how in this game the Genesis is quite good, but in real life, not so much. Yeah, I don't think I'm any faster, honestly. Actually, it seems like it's taken longer to get to that 300 mark. Or maybe not.
Justin Slim Friesen says. Seems like turning off TP helped again.
Yep, I agree. Yeah, that definitely didn't make me faster, though. So, okay.
Mike Wolf BLN says. Sup.
Hey, hello, Mike. But that doesn't help. Okay, let's get rid of Chrome. Let's get rid of... I wish I could get rid of Discord. So what's up with you today, Mike? Anything interesting? Ooh, that Mercedes. Almost a repeat of what happened today at Spa.
Mike Wolf BLN says, I just finished watching WEC.
Yeah, you saw the Peugeot smash into the Mercedes.
Mike Wolf BLN says, oh man, sad face.
Yeah, that was a nasty, nasty accident. And the worst part of it is that the GT driver just continues on as if nothing happened. And the Peugeot is completely demolished.
Mike Wolf BLN says, yeah, Ferrari kinda caused it.
Yeah, because the Ferrari did cut the Mercedes off there a bit. Mercedes overcorrected it and spun out. Crossed the track and clipped the Peugeot.
Mike Wolf BLN says, but at that stage of the race so much dirt and debris on that part of the track it's not mussy can be done slash.
Maybe it's time I put on some new tires. Just saying. I've already spun out a couple of times on those tires. Once you spin out, it's easier to spin out again. One thing I did notice yesterday, though, because yesterday you might have not seen it, but I decided to get into a McLaren and do a couple of laps. And right out of the pits on cold tires, I don't care, I can push the car.
Mike Wolf BLN says, oh, the other hand, I'm happy to see BMW break their curse finally.
Oh, what happened with them? That I did not see. I just saw some glimpse here and there, especially that accident. Because Peugeot broadcasted all over YouTube. So it was kind of hard to miss.
Mike Wolf BLN says, BMW 1 and P2 hypercar.
Okay. How did Toyota fare? I'm curious about Toyota because they completely changed their car this year and it doesn't seem to have worked out. I couldn't even qualify.
Mike Wolf BLN says, P5 I think.
Okay, so Ferrari was having a really bad day, Peugeot was having a bad day, Alpine was having a bad day, Cadillac was having a bad day.
Mike Wolf BLN says, last 25 minutes is worth watching alone.
Oh, okay. 2 out of the 3 Ferraris didn't even qualify yesterday.
Mike Wolf BLN says, in the last 30 minutes was nearly 2 massive crashes.
Man, I'm struggling now. Why am I struggling all of a sudden? Let's try the balance. Usually I like the aggressive, but when I start getting aggressive, I'm losing the rear.
Mike Wolf BLN says, on Aston and 1 Alpine, well they did crash but could have been messy worse.
Did FIA post it, the WEC race on YouTube, or do we have to wait a week before they post the race? Because usually they would post it like a week afterwards. But I think the last race of last season, they posted it the same day. So I'm confused. Did they just do it for the last race, or is this gonna... Are they gonna start uploading it regularly? Ooh, I'm not gonna make it.
Mike Wolf BLN says, Alex K streams it on his Discord live.
I don't like that. And there was another girl that was doing it too. It's like the people that stream the F1 races, where you don't get to see anything either. Ooh, I am not liking this setup. I like how they say balance, but...
Mike Wolf BLN says, sometimes WEC post on YouTube the next day.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Sometimes they post it the next day, so... But sometimes they've been known to post it a week later as well, so... I might have to watch the race next week. I also like the fact that all the brands like Ferrari and Genesis, Toyota, all stream it live.
Mike Wolf BLN says, well Alex just streams the stream as a watch party and no cam or comments from him, just the WEC stream.
And he doesn't get any copyright issues from that? I know I can't do that. I would do that just once and my channel would get demonetized. And I don't know if you notice, a lot of channels are getting demonetized now, so... AI is just going randomly about demonetizing people.
Justin Slim Friesen says, on Discord Jeeps. Mike Wolf BLN says, yes I know. Mike Wolf BLN says, as he does it on Discord. Mike Wolf BLN says, not YouTube or Twitch.
Oh, okay. Oh man, that's just another Discord to join. I removed like 10 of them yesterday. I'm getting fed up with all of these Discord joinings. Okay, BMW dude.
Mike Wolf BLN says, but I have a sneaky website for streaming sports if you want.
You can't talk about that on YouTube, and I can't endorse it. But yeah, I do have some, except that I can't watch the replays. Like, I can watch certain events live, but I can't see them in replays, which is really annoying. But hey, it's not the end of the world. Let's support our favorite streaming services, YouTube, and wait until Fia posts it online.
Yeah, the replay I watch on the official channel. Mike Wolf BLN says, anyway, enough talk about sneaky stuff.
Yeah, that's best left for Discord conversations and whatnot. I'm not liking this setup. Okay, 2 hypercars meet 2 GTs. What is going to happen? Chaos ensues, right? Nope. Okay. See, the AI will always let the AI pass.
Like OLDH. That sneaks up on you quicker than you think. LOL.
Man. AI will always let the AI pass, but will always block me.
Ha 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 ha.
Yeah, I'm not liking that. Let's go back to this. And I'm thinking Packers?
Mike Wolf BLN says, AI is in cahoots.
Yes, they are. At some point, too, I'm gonna have to start mapping buttons for the ARBs. Front and rear anti-roll bars. So that you can change them from cold conditions to warm conditions. I just don't want to go there. I don't want to change my car setup depending on which curve I'm coming to. That's where I think that AI should assist the drivers. Back in the day, we would call it, what was it called? Not the adaptive suspension. What was it called? When F1 put that into their F1 cars. Active suspension? Is that what they called it?
Justin Slim Friesen says, active. Mike Wolf BLN says, active ride height.
Well, I remember, I think it was Williams and Honda that were testing it. And the GPS would pick up where the car was on the track and change a whole bunch of suspension settings at every corner. And
Mike Wolf BLN says, Williams did it.
yeah, Honda did it too in testing, though. They never... But whoa! Man, touching the grass is so bad.
Mike Wolf BLN says, was 1991-1992, and they got it banned.
Yep, that's what I was gonna say.
Mike Wolf BLN says, or 1993.
Yeah, they banned that. But with all the things that we have now, AI should do it for me. I'm too old to be switching all of these things around for every single corner. Ooh, my tires are really... I really slid every which way there. My tires are completely fudged.
Mike Wolf BLN says, the 1994 Williams car was a dog to drive, and that's part of the reason why Senna died.
Well, I never understood why Senna went to Williams anyways, so... I know he wants to be in a competitive car. As soon as I let go of the gas, okay, I'm not sure if the wobble there was related to tiny pedals.
Mike Wolf BLN says, money and hate of Prost.
Yeah, I know. I never liked Prost. He just seems like a pompous arse. I never liked him.
Mike Wolf BLN says, yup, +1.
I didn't like the fact that he was French, but he was also a pompous piece of... all the elites who think that they're elites. I like drivers that remain humble. And just go out on the track and try to do the best that they can.
Justin Slim Friesen says, I got no issue with either of them. Mike Wolf BLN says, I called him the arrogant professor.
Yep. He was. And that's kind of why I didn't like Gilles Villeneuve either, you know. It's always, oh, the car's not performing, that's why I'm not doing good on track. It has nothing to do with my lack of skills.
Mike Wolf BLN says, Gil was before my time.
Did I say Gilles? I meant Jacques. Gilles was phenomenal. And back then they were go-karts. It's kind of like riding the Isle of TT.
Mike Wolf BLN says, Jacques is a prick still.
Yep. Then he launched his singing career, so whatever.
Justin Slim Friesen says, I like him. LOL.
Well, don't get me wrong, but I rooted for the guy up until he went to bar.
Mike Wolf BLN says, did you watch the movie Closer to the Edge?
I don't think so.
Mike Wolf BLN says, LOL Justin.
Well, I was really rooting for Zhao. When he went to Formula
Mike Wolf
Atlantic.
BLN says, it's about Isle of Man TT.
Man, the Isle of Man TT there, that's just crazy. Like, I've ridden motorcycles and often, like, I would like to ride on tracks. Man, I hate GTs.
Mike Wolf BLN says, crazy.
But that's one track where I never even wanted to try it. And I did get a strike once because that's how I know about streaming things on YouTube. Because I was streaming somebody that went there. And I was...
Wolf BLN says, yeah, I'd love to do a lap of it one time.
Not me. I am so scared of that track. But one time there was this one guy, and he went there and he had cameras on his motorcycle and he was driving. So I was commentating on his ride there and his techniques. And while I was streaming it, the stream got pulled down. And I got my channel suspended. So yeah, my channel's been through the ringers a couple of times. But yeah, man, that track is crazy, but the people riding there are even crazier. But when you look at the old Gilles Villeneuve's footages, that he's driving in the rain, no wing. And then there's this race where the wing is up over in front of him, so he can't see where he's going. And the guy is still pushing 300 kilometers around the track with that.
Mike Wolf BLN says, I was streaming once and had a Twitch stream in for a sec of a friend and he had music playing and that got me a warning.
Yep. Well, that was just a warning. Me got suspended for 90 days. And then one time I fell asleep while streaming. Got another 90-day suspension. So I'm walking on eggshells because I don't want a third strike.
Mike Wolf BLN says, for sleeping on stream?
Yep. You cannot leave the stream unattended. And I'm having trouble pronouncing that word. Unattended. Yes, you see people sleeping. I've seen it a lot on Twitch, but that kind of stuff on YouTube will get you banned. Because you have to be there to be able to moderate the chat and stuff, and if people start saying nasty things, you need to moderate it and delete those comments. So if you're sleeping and you got nobody attending your chat stuff, If you're sleeping on camera but you have a moderator in the chat to moderate that kind of stuff, then it's okay. Because your stream is attended even though you're sleeping.
Mike Wolf BLN says, ah.
So you see a girl's ass sleeping. Well, probably her boyfriend is up and moderating the chat.
Mike Wolf BLN says, yes, we're responsible for Taihi actions of everybody else, makes sense.
Yep, that's the thing, so. Unfortunately, I no longer have any moderators or none of that stuff. I used to, but I've had some really bad experiences. Like, you can give people certain privileges, but then they abuse them, so I had a moderator that was Jeeps Media Live, so my channel, and then they were telling all the viewers to F off. And yeah. So it's as if I was typing to the viewers all kinds of nasty things. And they thought it was funny. And back then I did not have the text to chat stuff. So I was busy gaming. And then after killing the dragon, I look at the chat and I see what's going on. Not happy. I was not happy. So I have trust issues with moderators and all kinds of stuff like that.
Mike Wolf BLN says, yeah, clowns are everywhere.
Well, it's not only that, but, you know, like the person seems decent and a lot of fun, and you hang out for 6 months. And then they're like, okay, I'll offer to help you to do this. But then they go and look through everything that they can do and start exploiting everything. You know, it's like power corrupts, and absolute power corrupts absolutely. So yeah, if people want to become a moderator, okay.
Justin Slim Friesen says, someone asking to be a mod is a red flag and ho.
No, but, you know, sometimes you've heard me say it, you know, I wish I had a producer. I wish I had some help streaming and fixing the cameras and stuff like that. And eventually, you know, a viewer that I've been friends with for the past 6 months offers to help. So you start off just being a moderator, and you're doing a good job. Ooh! Yeah! I'm still having some issues with some rear...
Mike Wolf BLN says, I used to run an ACC server with 2 friends, and we had some guys acting as race control during events. Needless to say, after a few days they were even giving me stupid penalties and stuff.
Well, the person did a good job, you know, it's just that they are offering to give me a hand. So if I go live and they want to change the title of the stream, because let's say I start playing Le Mans Ultimate, but then I rage quit and I decide to go and play iRacing, well, they can change the title of the stream from LMU to iRacing, and they can change the hashtags, because there used to be a time that hashtags meant something. So slowly you start giving them permissions to do stuff, but then they start pushing the boundaries, you know. It's like, goddamn, you're 26 years old. Don't pretend to be me in the chat and tell everybody to F off and start insulting them and cursing them, you know. If you want to do that under your name, that's one thing, but don't tarnish the brand. Oh. See, if I'm on the dirty part of the track, I'm losing stability here. So no, it's not like I gave somebody something, you know. Like I said, you know, they seemed fine for a good while, but then...
Justin Slim Friesen says, Internet friends aren't friends. Call me old-fashioned. LOL.
Well, I disagree with that, but I agree with you at the same time, but I've known some really... At the beginning of the internet, like, I gave up my address, and people that were upgrading their PCs would be sending me their old parts. I remember I had like a 13K modem, and I had 14 not gigs, but I guess back then it was megs of RAM. And the game required 16 and I only had 14. Don't ask me why 14. Somebody cheaped out on the PC. So I could play the game, but only if there was less than up to 4 people in the server. But you could be 16 or 32 in a server, so as soon as a 5th person would join the server, it would kick me out. So, and people were upgrading their PCs and sending me parts, and that kept me gaming, but you wouldn't see me giving out my address today. So I agree with you that, you know, friends are not necessarily friends, but I have friends in Tennessee that I've known for 14 years. And we send each other all kinds of stuff for our birthdays and whatnot. And there's a guy in South Africa, really good friends with. But, you know, we've moved on from our gaming years. Now, my friends from Tennessee are raising goats now. And my friend from South Africa bought himself a lathe. Ooh, I'm still having oscillations. And is woodworking now. And he makes all kinds of beautiful stuff. So he no longer games, he no longer rides motorcycles, he no longer does anything compatible with me, but we're still friends.
Wolf BLN says, I got friends in Holland, Hungary, Romania and Poland that I met from sim racing that I have been to house and had them stay at MYT house.
You know, so... But yes, otherwise 99% of everybody else that you meet on the internet, yes, they're not friends. And times have changed. Like I said, I would not be giving my address to anybody now, but 25 years ago when the internet started, times were very different.
Mike Wolf BLN says, obviously we knew each other for years.
Yeah, I was on Skype 14 hours a day with my friends from Tennessee. Like, the cameras were always on, all day long. And one time I caught the babysitter going underneath the bed and stealing all their medications. And they didn't know that they were on camera.
Mike Wolf BLN says, whoa.
Yep. And I was there when they confronted that babysitter too, so yeah. Try to tell me that what I saw I didn't see, you know. So, you know, there's people that I got to know in real life through the internet. But I would also say that most of my real life friends were not friends either, you know. You grow up with friends and, you know, you're friends like with them for 8 to 10 years. Whoa, dude! What did he just do there? Man, he just blocked me off there. What the crap was that?
Mike Wolf BLN says, For me, I have a lot of friends, but only maybe 8 good friends.
No, but I've been friends with, growing up, I had friends for 10 years, and then you discovered that he tried to sleep with 6 or 7 of your girlfriends, it's like, okay. Kind of discovered that he was hanging out not because he enjoyed your company, but because he's trying to steal all your girlfriends and stuff. Man, he just let the 2 other hypercars go, and as I'm coming...
Mike Wolf BLN says. Well, that's not so much about friends but their lack of self-control.
Nah. Friends come and go in real life too, so... For me, I've had better internet friends than real life friends.
Mike Wolf BLN says. Yes, they do.
Oh, I forgot about the camera. See why I need a producer and moderators and stuff? I was actually getting ready to host a race this afternoon, but I'm just chilling here. And
Justin Slim Friesen says. Same. I have around 8 very close friends. Everyone else I more or less consider acquaintances.
yeah, I don't even have that many friends. But as I got older, I don't tolerate stupidity anymore, so I've had to cut a lot of people out of my life because one thing or another was kind of toxic to me. Well, there's a lot more servers than there was earlier.
Mike Wolf BLN says. Yeah, as most of the people I know are in the music scene and are my clients, sometimes THRE is a fine line between acquaintance and friends.
Oh man, who does fixed setups for hypercars? Like, really? Only hypercars, but they're fixed. Is this a nighttime thing again? Defaults? Damage 0.5? Okay, that's kind of weird. I thought I was the only one. I guess the guy does not want to be run into for the fun of it. Yeah, my race last night at Trackalicious just didn't start off on the right foot, and I'm tired of driving at night. The guy on my right side just comes into my lane, you know. I keep getting the warning to pass the slower car in front of me.
Justin Slim Friesen says. As my old boss used to say. F them all but 6, and save them for pallbearers. LOL. Mike Wolf BLN says, what I noticed a lot on the hosted servers is people deliberately blocking the track to take people out.
I don't see too much of that, but that's kind of why I bring the damage down. In case we do get somebody in here that wants to wreck the race for other people. Maybe you're lucky and you won't get so much damage. And you get to enjoy the race. Tire warmers. That's nice of him. But yeah, if I... Oh, that's another thing. Maybe Justin can help me, maybe not. Maybe I need to ask Dale again about these things. Like, okay, let's say I want to organize a tournament on SimGrid.
Mike Wolf BLN says, I did a 1HR hypercar race on Lemons on Thursday in between your streams, and third lap was 3 GT3S parked at Tetra Rouge blocking the track.
Yeah, see, that's just bummer. That's...
Justin Slim Friesen says, oof.
Yeah, that's not cool. But the one thing I was wondering about is that after the race, you can fill out a form to report incidents, and that I don't know how they do that. Is that just like a Google document that people can... I don't even know how to work Google Documents. But I know that Justin does, because he shared one with mine.
In hosted?
Yeah, if I do a tournament on SimGrid, like 13 races or 14 races, but after the race I want people to be able to fill out incident reports. How do I go about doing that? And also, I'm not the greatest guy to know how to give penalties. So I don't know like what the penalty rule book would say. Like, what's a 5-second penalty? What's a 20-second penalty?
TBH, I don't know.
Okay. Because I did it with Tricalicious last week, and it kind of felt like it sent me to a Google document, and they were asking which question, like what lap and the number of the car involved, and a small description of what happened. So it was kind of a little bit like what we have here when we report an incident with a player. But then I don't know, other than, you know, purposely wrecking somebody's race and blocking the pits or the track, that would result in a ban or disqualification. Like, what are 20-second penalties? What are 30-second penalties? What are...
Justin Slim Friesen says, yeah, Google Forms. I've never used it, but it seems easy enough to make one up.
Okay, so there, I should just like Google on YouTube, Google document forms, and watch a video on how to set that up.
Justin Slim Friesen says, I'd start there, yeah.
Okay, good enough. See, I'm not smart. I just need time to look stuff up and see how to do stuff. Well, that was a very good place to... Oh, and the guy spins out on top of that.
Mike Wolf BLN says, "You smart."
No, I'm not. Oh, another car. I mean, we got tire warmers. How are they spinning out?
Mike Wolf BLN says, "DJ Khaled said you are."
I don't know who DJ Khalid is, but let's trust him. Ooh, I got some wobbles again today.
Mike Wolf BLN says, "It's a meme."
Oh, okay. I don't know if I could organize this on SimGrid, but like instead of having the podium be the 3 first people that finished the race, can I have it be the 3 last ones that cross the finish line? Oh man. That was embarrassing. That was like a break and hopefully the car will stop in time, which it didn't. Obviously the car did not stop. What? Is the server over already? Am I getting kicked out? Is that what's happening here? No? Okay. No, there's still 48 minutes to this server. Okay. Yeah, I wonder if we can set up the podiums differently. Like, not the DNFs, but the 3 last people to finish the race, they get to be on the podium. I really want to set up a whacked up tournament. That makes no sense to any aliens wanting to participate. Not that I have anything against aliens, but I kind of want to put the emphasis on average Joes. And unfortunately, as much as I would like to race, I feel like I would need to put my car in the game just to be able to stream it. But I would have to go in camera mode and just watch people and try to pick up on the incidents and accidents. I don't know. Madmen on track. I leave now. Okay. That was a very simple English. structure. He didn't want to say that there's a lot of crazy peoples on the track. Mad. I'm just wondering what can be done. I need to watch some YouTube videos. Might not seem like it, because obviously my PC life is a big part of my daily life. But the amount of time I get to actually do new stuff is very petite. You know, it always requires a sacrifice. Like, okay, well, when I finish streaming at night, I can either, you know, eat something while watching Glenn's stream before going out with the cats for a walk and stuff. And I come back, if Glenn's still streaming, well, I'll continue watching that. But if I didn't do that, I would Google stuff up and how to do stuff, and but then I'm tired, so my brain doesn't register much. You know, I wake up in the morning, check my emails, pay the bills that I received invoices, notifications through the email. See if there's any appointments coming soon, what I need to do, get ready for that. Meanwhile, I gotta feed the cats. They want to go for a walk all the time. Last night they busted a screen, so this morning I had to fix it up. I'm gonna have to order some screening now from Amazon. I have a feeling my cat's not finished trying to go through the screens. So, once they start tearing that up, I'm gonna have to replace it. On one hand, I'm kind of happy that the traces are so clean. On the other hand, I wish you guys could see why I let go of the throttle there, because I kind of felt a loss of traction on the rear wheels. Oh man, it's so much of a headache. Everything. It's like, for me, reinstalling Windows and having to reinstall all the software, I'd have to look up like 25, 30 YouTube videos on how to do stuff. I did it, but I did it like 3 years ago. I did it once, so I don't remember. I just remember that there's stuff that needs to be done. I don't know how to go about doing it. And I'm still on Windows 10. Later this year, I'm going to have to upgrade to Windows 11. I am so not looking forward to that. All I've been hearing for years is how crappy Windows 11 is. And how the updates screwed up and erased some SSDs. And how the game performance takes a dive. And all that stuff.
Justin Slim Friesen says, "It's fine for me."
Yeah, well, you probably didn't have the SSDs that were targeted in that Windows update. But Nvidia have been just as guilty as Windows and scrapping up some game performances and whatnot. Well, everybody's like, yeah, don't install the updates as soon as they come in. Wait a week or two and see who's reporting what issues before you actually go ahead and do stuff. And even OBS, you know. A Windows update comes out and half of the functions on OBS no longer work. So then you have to wait for an OBS update, and then they still can't fix stuff. Windows permanently broke stuff. It's Skyrim all over again. Whoa, that guy just cannonball there. Man. Whoa, where did the car in front of me disappear to?
Justin Slim Friesen says, "Guess I'm lucky. I've had no issues." Mike Wolf BLN says, "Cannonball."
Yeah, but even what happened to the Valkyrie that was in front of me? He just vanished. Like, don't you have to come to a full stop before you can go back to the garage? Why did the car in front of me just vanish? Man, sometimes I swear to God, I'm in the Twilight Zone. And you know, I got 3D printing software, I've got 3D modeling software to make the stuff that I 3D print. Well, this doesn't work with that version of Windows, and that doesn't work with this version of that, and that doesn't work with another version of something else. It's like my AI works on Python 3.13, but there's newer versions of Python, but it won't work with them. Ooh. Okay, I don't know what's going on today. I seem to not be able to I keep losing control of my car all over the place. As soon as I leave the racing line and I get onto dirty sections of the track, why is it so long to load? Yeah, I have so many issues with so many things. I'm never in a hurry to update nothing. If everything is working, then I don't need to update. When I start having issues, okay, let's try to update this.
Justin Slim Friesen says, loading new users' liveries.
Oh, that makes a lot of sense. Okay, thank you, Justin. Let's see, 1.2 was super stable, and then 1.3 came along, and we've already had, what, 6, 7 hot fixes? And the game is... still feels like it's beta now. I mean, for the past couple of days, I had no issues with the steering wobble or nothing. And then today, they are all coming back. I know there's one piece of software that I'd really like to not run. But that would require me to set up 2 keyboards and 2 mouse. Like I need it for the streaming PC. Because I can control the streaming PC with my current mouse and stuff, but I need software for both PCs to communicate. Not that it uses a bunch of resources, but when you're going through the list of background software that's running, I mean, it's obviously not as bad as having OBS run on the gaming PC, but it's a compromise. But if I could do without... But I've tried it and I get confused. And I'm writing on the wrong keyboard and I'm using the wrong mouse to click things, and I hate getting old.
Justin Slim Friesen says, like I said the other day, whenever someone joins the server my FFB cut for a second. If I'm in a corner in that moment, it's game over for me.
Oh, you probably noticed, but in the race I completely wiped out. Like the before last lap, I had to go to the bathroom, so I came into the pits. And my car started rolling back.
Justin Slim Friesen says, I didn't.
And my car, well, you were fighting. I think you were fighting all the way to the finish line, so. But yeah, right there, I smacked the wall. And I lost the wheel. And I made it across the finish line anyways. But the cat was passing through here, and I just looked down to make sure that I wasn't gonna smash the pedal and smash my cat. And yeah, that was enough to send me
Justin Slim Friesen says, oh right. I remember now, lol.
And that was just... See, the thing is that the cats were sleeping. I was having a good race, but I had to go to the bathroom. So I stop into the pits, then the car starts rolling backwards in the pits. I don't care. I get up to go to the bathroom, but as soon as I go there, the cats follow me in there. And I come back here, and then the cats follow me back here. So as I'm doing my last lap, the cats are in behind the pedals. So I didn't want to smash the cat, but I was distracted and it sent me into the wall. So in the few couple of corners that I had to do to finish the race, I was missing a wheel in front. And that was a funny race for me. Man, my strategy, my fuel saving, everybody, all the hypercars were doing 2 stops.
Justin Slim Friesen says. Gone of the devil.
Yeah,
LOL.
all the hypercars were doing 2 stops. I was on track to do just 1 stop. Hey, it doesn't seem like much because obviously Larson has a lap and a half on me. So I know I'm not going to beat him in the pits. But maybe I could have gotten wicks, you know. Maybe I could have finished 3rd. Ooh, man, that Corvette is doing Corvette things. So you're thinking of picking up the Corvette now? Did you register with the Maca or the Corvette? I didn't check. Ooh. See, even at 78 degrees or 74 degrees, my tires behave like they're at 20 degrees Celsius. They behave like cold tires.
Justin Slim Friesen says. Not really. Just wanna test it again to see if I still hate it. LOL.
Oh, okay. Well, I remember trying it, and when I said that I find it extremely stable, everybody was scratching their heads. As everybody finds that it's not a stable car.
Justin Slim Friesen says. I just can't believe it's so bad in LMU, and so good in iRacing.
And these hypercars are so well balanced. And I love the feeling of how they feel when you lose control of them. I know, strange thing to say, but
Justin Slim Friesen says. And by bad I mean I don't like the feeling.
I haven't driven GTs in a long time. I got into a, where's the practice server? Is this the one? I got into, where's the Corvette? Alright, let's use this one. I haven't driven GTs in so long. It was weird yesterday. But on cold tires, you can drive the car right away, no issues. You know, I just have a feeling that most GT3 drivers that have not tried a hypercar think that the cold tires is the same situation from hypers to GTs, and it's an upside down world in comparison. So if all you've done is try a hypercar and discovered that you lock the brakes up when you go to brake, you didn't like it, and you go back to...
Justin Slim Friesen says. Agreed Jeeps.
And then you go back to GT3 cars, and you think that it's only the braking that's the issue? No, there's a lot of... okay, let's try Dave's Academy stuff, because I definitely probably... Oh, I do have one here. Okay. Let's load it up. Let's see how this does. I'm in the Corvette Bandit. Okay, let's try it out. No cars coming, good. Like, I just have a feeling that people that are telling me to just cope with it from the GT3 drivers just have not tried it at all.
Justin Slim Friesen says. That said, I do hate the braking in hypers. They feel far too weak to me. With hoe tires, I mean. Justin Slim Friesen says. Hot.
Well, I'm still working on that. Like, I've noticed that in certain tracks, I'll stop quicker waiting until the last moment on lower force, kilogram force on the pedal. And on other tracks, I'll stop faster if I have a higher thing, but I start braking earlier. So, you know, I'm still, you know, fooling around with the brakes a little bit. But having said that, oh boy, this car is terrible. See, there's no balance to this car when you go off track. The car just ends up going wherever it wants to go. But overall, I mean, ever since I changed the pedals, like, I was always locking up. The only way for me to not lock up was to put the brake force at 60%. You know?
Justin Slim Friesen says. I think I just can't wrap my head around the weight of the high. So I expect they brakes to preform better.
But ever since I switched stuff, I mean, I still lock up once in a blue moon. And 90% of those lockups are for a fraction of a second because the haptics kick in and I let go of the brake pedal. You know, that helps a lot. It's just finding the right amount of pressure, kilograms in the setup. Because slowly but surely, I'm getting myself to where you see the markings on the pavement for braking. You know, back in the days of when I had it at 60%, I would start braking at 4 times that range to be able to get to a full stop by the time I get to the corner without locking up. But now, as soon as you see that shade there on the pavement is where I'm trying to get myself at to brake in hypercars. Oh man, the rear just snapped on me there. That was weird. This car feels weird. I'm not just talking about the Corvette. This is probably me not being used to a GT thing. I'm not even feeling the ABS. Oh, I just felt it there.
Justin Slim Friesen says, like usually when I drive a race car that can accelerate that well, the brake performs similarly well. Does that make sense?
Yes. I think what you're getting at is like when I used to play F1 on the PlayStation. I think it was like...
Justin Slim Friesen says, I can't make the adjustment.
It's like when I was playing F1 2002, I think it was. The car accelerates like a bullet and also brakes like a bullet, you know. But this game is so different on so many levels that it feels like you're taking off like a jet, but you're having to put on the brakes like a freight train. And whatever time it takes to brake, that's what it is. And some of the wheels will lock up and some of them don't. So yeah, in that sense of the word, it's not proportional. For me, it was hard getting used to not braking like the GT3s. Like, you go into a corner, and I hate following a GT3 into a corner. Because in hypercars, I have a tendency of braking and then kind of gliding through the corner. And then accelerating on my way out.
Justin Slim Friesen says, yup. And the old hypers on iRacing drove that way as well. Now they don't. And I get no joy from driving in that overly cautious braking way.
Well, I'm not overly cautious anymore when I brake. Having said that, I should probably be more cautious there in the Corvette. Seems I completely missed whatever I was doing there. It's funny trying to get used to a GT3. But yeah, I hate following a GT3 into a corner because they keep slowing down throughout the corner. Like, I brake, and then I glide through the corner and I accelerate on the way out. You follow a GT3, so I have the good speed going into a corner, but then he keeps slowing down, and I'm gliding, and if I hit the brakes, well, I'm going to spin out. If I downshift, I'm going to spin out.
Justin Slim Friesen says, my head is always saying, there's no way a race car with this much downforce should have to brake this damn early. LOL.
Yeah, I admit it's taking me a lot of getting used to. Because I'm trying to get myself here where I'm braking as late as possible. Which for me is when I start seeing this discoloration on the pavement. So, this is where I start braking now.
Justin Slim Friesen says, but it seems correlated to IRL. So it is what it is.
Yeah. A lot of things don't make sense to me. It's a game. No, why?
Justin Slim Friesen says, doesn't mean I have to like it. LOL.
Nope, true. But it's a game. It should not feel like work. And not only that, it feels like you're going to a job that you don't like, and you show up with a good attitude, and you're saying hello to everybody at the office, and then the boss comes out and says, well, I don't like your attitude, you're fired. You're not positive enough. You don't feel passionate about your job and stuff. After all the effort you put in to hide the fact that you really hate it, you know, your boss is just doing a stupid boss thing, and
Justin Slim Friesen says, right. That's why I find a car I enjoy and stick with it.
So yeah, I mean, it's good to be a simulation, but guys, remember that it's a game. Like, there's no difference between soft, medium, and hard. Yes, there is, but I mean, like, if you start at 20 degrees, well, the soft should be biting at 40. Medium's at 55. Hard's at 75. You know, have some gradient differences. Don't have the softs start biting at 70 and medium's at 75 and hard's at 80. When rain tires bite at 20. You know, it's... Oh yeah, well, it's like that in real life. Yeah, but... You know, make the softs wear out faster. Instead.
Justin Slim Friesen says, I want it to be a sim. I don't have to stick around if I don't like it. But I do want it to be as realistic as possible.
I don't. To a certain point, I agree with you. Like, one thing that gets on my nerves is when the car gets damaged, it doesn't look like it. Like, I'd like to see missing hoods and missing doors and crumple zones. You know, that would add to my immersion. On the other hand, the FIA decides to listen to some global warming Karens. And to reduce global warming, they're not using tire warmers anymore. Well, I don't need to replicate that in a video game. And the FIA should have taken the safety of their drivers over trying to push woke politics. You know, so there's certain things that, okay, you can be realistic. And certain things that I don't want in real life, even less in a video game. What, are we gonna start putting protesters on the starting grid that want to ban oil and petroleum products? Man, that would be super realistic. You know, I don't need that. I don't need that crap. I'm here to race and play a racing game. Oh, did he just spun out there? Yep. I gave him plenty of room to go. Stupid driver went the wrong way. Okay, well. I hope they're not talking about me. But yeah, you can have weather, you can have daylight transitions and all the physics and all that. Whoa! Okay, I think I've tried driving whatever setup this was. Can we go to Dave's Academy?
Mike Wolf BLN says. 332 with fixed setup, not bad.
I don't know how you do fixed setups. Which car are you using? Maybe that makes a difference.
Mike Wolf BLN says. With great pain.
With great pain. Whoa.
Justin Slim Friesen says. Adapt Jeeps. That's how.
I'm too old to
Mike
adapt.
Wolf BLN says. Pug with wing.
Okay. Yeah, I'm thinking of giving the Pug with Wing another go-ahead. I was in it earlier. Really like the car. And the brakes on that car are far superior to the ones in the Genesis.
Mike Wolf BLN says. I went past you when you rejoined it in GT3.
Oh. Okay, I didn't even notice. You need to have a custom livery.
Justin Slim Friesen says. Oh. Are you in this, Mike? That your time? Mike Wolf BLN says. Gene Isis is POL. Mike Wolf BLN says. YE. Mike Wolf BLN says. Yep.
The Genesis is not poo. The car handles great. It doesn't have great braking. It doesn't have high speed. It doesn't... It's an average good car.
Mike Wolf BLN says. Ha ha ha.
But yeah, right away I feel the difference in braking between the Peugeot and the Genesis. Ooh, he just warped there on me. I feel the difference right away.
Justin Slim Friesen says. It's not POL. It's the beginning of POL.
But yeah, I noticed it right away this morning. The brakes on the Peugeot are twice as powerful as the Genesis. It's incredible the stopping power that it has without locking up. It's amazing.
Mike Wolf BLN says. True.
Yeah, I was gonna say put a mic sign on your bumper, but Hypers don't have bumpers, so I wouldn't see it. And Hypers go by so fast, I wouldn't have time to read it anyways, because I don't have my glasses on. And I need to buy...
Mike Wolf BLN says. If you see Black Pug Kisik name.
Okay.
Mike Wolf BLN says. One day I'll get around to making a livery.
Okay, I don't know if you guys can hear that. But I had to drive with that all the way to the finishing line at the race the other day.
Mike Wolf BLN says. Lul.
That's what happens when you lose a wheel. And I had to drive that way all the way to the finish line. Oh man, that was crazy. Okay, there you are, Mike. Let me see here. Let's switch. So, you just need to send me basically what you would like. And I'll make it for you. And Paul can wait for a long time for his Lexus livery. And I'm not liking the Corvette. FYI. Just in case
Mike
that
Wolf
wasn't
BLN
obvious.
says. Lul.
Like, if you want a real car livery, just send me a picture of that. If you just want some general ideas, send me that.
Mike Wolf BLN says. I have a livery I can adapt from erasing.
See, just send me your pictures of the livery from iRacing and I'll adapt it. I actually did the reverse. I adapted Justin's LMU livery to iRacing, not knowing exactly what I was doing, but it turned out okay. Okay, I'm not really liking the Corvette either.
Mike Wolf BLN says. L. Mike Wolf BLN says. Smiley face.
Well, it's because, when I don't have iRacing, so if I color a certain part of the texture file, I don't exactly know which part that's going to show up. And they like putting parts all over the place on these maps, UV texture maps. So when I have the game open and I can update it as I go, I know exactly which parts I'm working on.
Mike Wolf BLN says. Yet.
But when I did Justin, I'm like, I put a couple of things here, gave it to him, and can you tell me where these show up? Am I anywhere near where I need to be?
Mike Wolf BLN says. Are you using Photoshop for it?
Yeah, I'm using a very old version of Photoshop. I ain't updating for nothing. And yes, if I were to buy a new version of Photoshop, I'd probably have access to a lot of AI stuff. And then I couldn't afford to play the game, so I'm going to stay with my old version. Which may or may not be compatible with Windows 11. See why I hate upgrading stuff. Ooh, we are finished, folks. Server going down. Dang it. Ran out of
Mike
practice
Wolf
time.
BLN says. I'm not an advocate for buying Photoshop.
Well, I started with Photoshop 30 years ago, or 25 years ago. If we had free GIMP 25 years ago, I'd probably be using GIMP. I did see a...
Mike Wolf BLN says. But let's say I have it.
Yeah, I use Photoshop. Just like I use my 3D software as an old version. That still works. Got a student license for it 15 years ago, and it kind of helps when your friend is a teacher that teaches it. So I'm not really a student in the school, but I got a student license for Maya. So yeah, there's tons of other 3D software you could be using for modeling, but I've been using that for 25 years, so I can't relearn stuff constantly.
Mike Wolf BLN says. Oh yeah, Maya, I used to have Bryce and Kanama also.
I don't know what Bryce is. I don't know what Kanama is. I just know that at some point 3DS Max merged with Maya. I tried working with 3DS Max and really hated it. It wasn't intuitive. The tools don't work the same way and stuff, so you look at a 3D software, you think it's all the same, but when you start working with it, it's either intuitive or it's not. But yeah, because of Maya, that's how I learned to do UV maps. That's how I learned how to do rigging and animation and all that. And I used to do stuff. Did everything myself from A to Z.
Mike Wolf BLN says. Oh yet.
So that's why
Mike
today,
Wolf
you
BLN
know,
says. I'm just taking a LU 9K for my files.
I don't know if I could show you this. Hopefully this works. Stuff I did a long, long time ago. Uh, is that even working? Or is my PC just being super slow? I did the modeling, I did the textures, I did my own Mickey Mouse, did my own animation. You know, I used to have a lot of fun in the day. Now Disney's gonna send me a copyright strike.
Mike Wolf BLN says. Nice.
You know, I used to have a lot of fun. I was actually looking for work in that domain for the longest time. And in all the interviews and everything else, they would ask for a university degree as an artist. And my background is more electromechanical stuff. I worked in the aircraft industry and in the flight sim industry. I know how to build sims and button boxes. But as a hobby, I really like doing those kinds of things, and I was looking to work for gaming studios because there was a time that Montreal had EA, Blizzard, Ubisoft, and I tried getting jobs with these guys, but they wanted people that knew nothing about computers but were good at drawing stuff. Whoa, no, this is a raise. I can't get, oh, and it's fixed. Man. 40-minute practice. Oh, there's
Mike Wolf
42 of
BLN
38.
says. I sent you my erasing LMP2 livery.
Oh, okay. Let's have a look at it. Ooh, dang. Okay. That's not an easy thing to do. Even if you sent me I think it's a crab. Not quite sure what this is. It looks like a crab. But the texture files are all separated, so even to get the image to align here is crazy. That's a lot of work.
Mike Wolf BLN says. Cookie Monster. Justin Slim Friesen says. LOL.
Oh, that's Cookie Monster. Okay, okay, I see the cookies. I thought that was a giraffe. See, my eyesight is going. I thought this was a crab, and this was some kind of a giraffe. Or leopard or something. I did not see the cookies. But yeah, the hard part is aligning all. Even if you sent me the poster or the image of Cookie Monster, getting it lined up on all the different parts.
Mike Wolf BLN says. It's actually a famous Japanese artwork called The Great Wave on Kanaga. Justin Slim Friesen says, "Not my style, but looks well done, Mike."
Yeah, because lining up all the different parts for the image to fit seamlessly is really well done. There are ways of doing it in a UV map. I don't know why I know why they do it, but they don't need to. Like, they're maximizing the resolution by putting the parts all
Mike
over the
Wolf
square
BLN says,
file.
"My friend who used to work for Porsche helped me.
They put parts all over to fill up the square image. But there's a way that you can unfold all the parts of the car and having the front, top to the rear and then squish it to the sides. But then you would have empty spaces in the corner, and they don't like wasting space. So they just put the parts all over as long as it fits in the square format and let the people pluck their eyes
Wolf
out.
BLN says, "Yeah, I get that."
So yeah, putting the image all over the squares to have them line up is what's complicated. Yeah, I can show you what Paul wants me to do, since we were in that, because I also received another request overnight. Yeah, let's take this image. The guy wants me to do this as a Lexus for him, and I'm not feeling it. I don't feel like doing this. I'd rather work on your Cookie Monster. Yeah, well, it's 4:30. I need to start thinking about supper and having another walk with the cats. And from what I can see, there's some sun out, so the cats will enjoy that. Because this morning it was like 5
Mike
degrees.
Wolf BLN says, "I'm sure if he looked, someone may has made it."
The livery, we can look at it. I can open up race control. So if we go into liveries and
Mike
then
Wolf
search.
BLN says, "Yeah."
So, Cookie Monster. No liveries found, but you called it the Great Wave.
Justin Slim Friesen says, "If it's an existing team, then good chance, yup." Mike Wolf BLN says, "NOP, I mean Tay Lexus."
Oh no, nobody's done it on the Lexus. That's their new livery for this year, an IMSA, which LMU is WEC, so nobody has done it. Somebody sent me another 3 pictures here. Oh, okay. Oh, so it's a Cookie Monster, but it's in the wave. Oh, I get it. Okay. I get it.
Mike Wolf BLN says, "Yep."
And it's too bad that I can't see the wireframe for the car. Because, yeah. I don't know if I can even give you an example here, but I can try.
Mike Wolf BLN says, I had a PSD file but it's too big to send on Discord.
Yeah, no, you have to send me a TGA file and you have to zip it. So I did this one, and unfortunately you can't really see much of it, but there's a little part here.
Mike Wolf BLN says, so I'll send you a link.
So there's a little part here that's somewhere else. So I had the wings. I needed to match everything up. It was a pain in the butt getting pictures lined up. But yeah, I did that magical pony. Mustang.
Mike Wolf BLN says, yup.
So anyways, yep. It was a casual. I was planning on hosting a race and all that, but I felt like a casual day today, and I guess that's pretty much how the stream went.
Justin Slim Friesen says, later guys.
Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna stream tonight. I might give a Cookie Monster a try.
BLN says, peace guys laters.
If I have some free time this evening, I might give the Cookie Monster a go. But other than that, I don't plan on streaming tonight. So, see you guys tomorrow. Laters.